called Yellow. I wrote it last week. Yellow is a sunflower, a goldfinch scanning for seeds, the blur of the sun ribbоning out in photographs. Yellow startles the January day, strikes against blue sky, bronze prairie connecting horizons, a bridge, a new day.
Yay!
Beautiful. Thank you, Isaac.
Are we allowed to ask, was that in reaction to Amanda Gordon? No, good. What was her
Yes.
name? Shoot, I screwed
Gorman.
it up. Gorman. Okay,
Yes.
was that a reaction to her poem, Isaac?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Ah, very cool. Well done.
Yeah.
Make poetry cool again. Amanda's on it.
Yay. I should have prefaced it that way.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Aaron. Oh, thank you. Perfect. And then we've got HW for all. Star, would you like to read for us?
First, I want to say thank you to Britt. What a fantastic coordinator you are. You are just perfect. Yay. Thank you. I feel like I'm really retired. I actually have time off now. I can just come to Helicon West and just be here. Woo! I'll read 3 short poems. Down the river. Down the river came a shimmer light on riffles tipping sunset's first rayed glimmer. Kids on tubes paddle through, turn the corner, gone but for their hoots of joy, echoes of a former song, a long ago, a distant going. Down the river came a knowing, came a glowing shatter, water on its journey round the bend, sliding from its bed with memory in its hand. And I want to tell you that these 3 poems, thanks, are inspired by Susan Peshti-Strobel, who wrote to me and said, we're writing poems every day, okay? And I said, oh, okay. It's not that we have every single day, but man, what a start, just to have someone inspire me. I'm so happy. Tell me about your dreams. I said to her, the animal parades, the cookie lines at work, dogs falling into ice and reappearing winged. Tell me books you're reading, old classics, historical romances, mystery novels with animals and recipes, anything to keep us from current events, the blather and clatter patched into feeds to keep us all mad at each other. Tell me the birds at your feeders, wild turkeys talking in burbles when eagles fly over, the deer in your backyard browsing, grazing, not yet crossing the dangerous high-speed fact of the road. I walk twice a week in Idaho with my sister Leanne, and that one comes out of one of her. Oh my God, today was so amazing. We were walking up Station Creek, and the chickadees were like just flying all over and going, because they were mating, right? And then we saw these herds of deer dancing and cavorting down the mountain, and they were all just like this. They were doing it too. And then at the top of Station Creek, coyotes. Oh, they were having a blast. God, it was fabulous. Okay, this is my last one, then I'll be quiet. Reading with Ruth Stone. Poets come and go like squills that bloom in the melting snow. That's from her poem, Fragrance. Striped squill, a flower I'd never seen until last spring on a walk in the town where I've lived for 27 years. And there they were, tiny white stars with faint blue stripes winking out of the grass in the borrow pit under barren box elders near a barbed wire fence. I had to consult a botanist neighbor to ask their name, and now that I know them, I watch every spring to see their shining blooms among the common grasses. Thanks for being here, everybody.
Thank you so much, Star. It's Mitch's turn next, right? Mitch's handiwork is all around. I see it. Perfect. Russ, I believe you are next if you'd like to unmute.
Great. Thank you. Yay. I'm so excited this is happening again. I'm going to read. So I took the theme rewrite, and I'm going to read something that I had to rewrite because it's going to be on the radio, I think, in the next month or so. And I wrote this weird piece, and it started off getting weirder and weirder and weirder, and I really liked the direction it was going. And then I realized I can't let people hear this. This is too weird. And so you're going to get the version that I can't actually sell. So the sexier, weirder version with, yeah, severed genitals and all of that. So get ready. It's great. Okay, so it's Greek mythology. This is a little different than what I usually do. It's a little more journalistic than I usually do, but this is something that I'm going to give you the original version, not what I actually sold. So, okay. In Greek mythology, Uranus was the personified god of the sky. His union with Gaia, the personified god of earth, produced the Titans and Cyclopses. Uranus hated his offspring and buried them in the earth. Gaia sent the Titan Kronos to extract vengeance on Uranus, which he did by mutilating his father. The blood that dripped down from the sky boiled when it hit the earth. It eventually mutated into monsters that would go on to plague mankind. His severed genitals floated around in the sea, eventually giving life to Aphrodite, the god of love. Uranium gets its name from the planet and the god of the sky. Even in mythology, uranium can't escape monstrous tragedy. Before uranium became one of the most sought after elements in the world and changed the literal landscape of southeastern Utah, H.G. Wells theorized in his 1914 book, The World Set Free, that there was potential energy to be harnessed in atoms that could be transformed into world-ending weapons. When scientists first thought of splitting the atom, there was really only one option: the largest naturally occurring atom on the periodic table, uranium. Niels Bohr called uranium a wobbly droplet. It has 92 electrons spinning around a fat nucleus. And with 6 of those 92 electrons looking to bond with nearly anything, uranium wants to fall apart. This is great for weapons and energy, but bad for nearly every other reason. Because uranium is so unstable, it shoots off molecular bullets called free radicals that can literally pierce DNA and cause cancer. I'll stop there for now, but I wrote this piece about the uranium mills in southern Utah, and I got to go down there and interview people and stuff like that. But I I really liked the weird intro with the gods, and I still have a bit of that, but I had to trim it back by about 50% because I couldn't imagine people listening to this in their cars and being okay with it. So I pulled back a little bit, but yeah, that's what I got. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. So it's good to see y'all. So.
Thank you, Russ. You had to go fish those genitals out of the water. Genitals are just like a weird theme tonight. Which and that's not the theme. It doesn't have to be at all. Sarah K. Anderson.
Heyo. It's ironic that the theme is rewriting because the piece that I'm doing is a beat poem, which if anyone knows, the mantra is sort of first thought, best thought. And so there is no rewriting in beat poetry. And the title of the poem is Kakouithis, which means like an impulsive urge to act on a thought. So completely against the theme, but the poem is called Kakouithis. People dare to tell me I have agency. I say point to it, where? On top of buildings when I'm far above the ground, I can see it down below, calling out to me, Kakouithis. I cover my ears screaming, I can't hear you. I lie. When intoxicated, it is louder. When intoxicated, I listen. I dare not go out upon buildings. Kakouithis. Cavalry upon the stairs, I fight my way down again. I am afraid. But at least I would land in snow. My body would be hidden, given away only by the red. Forgetting myself already. Kakouithis. I have one more that's very short, called In the Dark. Walking slowly through a quiet wood, I cannot see anything but the pale silhouette of dreamlike trees. This is death, I think. If there are flowers, I cannot see them. I walked backwards over a broken ledge and I found myself here. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. That was awesome. And thanks for dressing up too. I'm gonna pretend that was just for me and for this evening.
It is just
And yay! Thank you. I dressed up my top half, but my legs are still comfortable. Millie, my dear, go ahead and unmute.
Oh, okay. Also, I guess you lower your hand so it just stays up. Great. Okay, so I'm gonna read 2 short dreams first, and then a poem that I'm revising right now. So Agnes dreams. She is walking to the temple. She has left her temple dress on the road. By now it will be red with earth. By now someone has found it. Someone is putting it on. And then the second dream. Agnes dreams her basket is full of mice who wake, run like waves over her hands, face, teeth, tongue, when she lifts the linen and looks. And then this is the poem that I was revising this week. So it's about Panguitch, Utah, and so it is called Panguitch, Utah. My second cousin sleeps in this house too. She shows me the doctor's apartment, bedrooms, where the babies were born. She speaks lovingly about our great-grandmother, dead before our births. She shows me Beulah's laundry room. I don't know why, but I love it here, thinking of her, working in it. Our great-grandmother hated her name, said, Beulah is what you name a cow, not a girl, who didn't want anyone named after her. I tell her I write poems. She tells me about her dead baby, ghost pains in the womb. All these years later, a book she read on memory, how on the baby's headstone, she had them write lived rather than born, died. Small window of a day. In the morning, I walk the highway, the cemetery. There are more bodies, more babies. Thanks.
I forgot to wave my hands in the camera. I like drummed on my table. I was like, yeah, Millie. Thank you, Millie. I'm so happy. For those who don't know, Millie's back in Cache Valley. Okay, Sean, you are next.
Hey, I am really excited to be here with so many people that I love. This is amazing. Yeah, I will be reading this is a flash essay. It's short. Ooh. It's called Cracking. So here we go. If we start at the beginning and trace the story chronologically, it will look something like this. At the age of 6, I was molested by an older cousin. No, that's not the beginning. I have pictures in my scrapbook of a chubby 3 or 4-year-old Sean playing with his sister's Barbies in the family's plastic pool, their blonde ponytails plastered to my fingers, their faces plunged under the water. The pool cracked, stopped holding water sometime around the time I turned 6. If we start at the beginning and trace the story chronologically, it will look something like this. July 6th, 1992, my mother expelled me from her body and we continued to grow apart from that point on. No, that beginning places my mother central in the story, which she is not. Like the lion and tiger print pajamas and rainbow-colored dinosaur quilts she sewed for me, she could not protect me from the brown shag carpet or the weight of my cousin's body. If we start at the beginning and trace the story chronologically, it would look something like this. My father's older brother, the father of the cousin on my bedroom floor, raises an intentionally unloaded handgun on the front porch of their house in late summer, surrounded by police officers. He asked my father, a couple days before stepping out to face the police, if his wife would get the insurance money when he chose to die. The Rocky Mountains around Brigham City, the city where he dies, and the city where 3 years later his son will find me in my basement bedroom on brown shag carpet, stand lifeless. No, starting there implies a sense of empathy I do not feel. It creates a narrative that makes my cousin a victim. His father's suicide cannot justify my body on brown shag carpet, my eyes scanning the paneling for the familiar wood grain patterns. If we start at the beginning and trace the story chronologically, it would look something like this. My father's older brother hurdles a kitchen knife across the basement of their childhood home at my father. Neither my father nor his brother was old enough to think about fatherhood when silver streaked through their home. No, starting there means starting in a lie. When my mother told me about the knife throwing in my father's childhood home, she had mixed up the truth. Later, when I ask my father how he dodged the knife, he shakes his head, tells me he had thrown the knife at his older brother. His brother had closed the bedroom door just in time. Pushed too far and everything cracks. When my cousin follows his father's example, when he slips his head through the noose and plunges downward, when his mother buries him next to his father, in the cemetery a block away from the house, with the basement, with the bedroom, with the brown shag carpet, with the wood paneling, with the patterns, I can still remember nearly 20 years after my family sold the house. I celebrate. If we settle on a conclusion, could it look something like this? I stand over his body alone. The pine trees sway in the January canyon wind. Snow coats the lilac bushes behind his headstone, cracks beneath my feet. His body decays while my body stands above. I drove half an hour on an extended weekend to remind myself that in the end I have won. No, the ice cuts at my ankles as I step toward his grave. The wind whips my face, makes my eyes water. My temper flares, I want to scream. I want to reach down, wrap my fingers around the small stone someone who loved him left on his headstone, the stone that someone carved the word hope into, and hurtle it away, like my father throwing knives at the other man who lays buried beneath my feet. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Alrighty, I will lower your hand. And next we have Allie Mills. So many things on screen. There you are.
Thank you. So I wrote this poem last summer during a time that we've all experienced, just like the hardship of being separated from loved ones. So this poem is called Porcelain Casket. I filled my bath with my tears again, made it scalding hot from the pain, so that I could sink into the abyss again, pretend that it was your embrace. All I want is relief, release from these chains. Ever since you haven't been around, the noise between my ears has been so loud. I just want your calmness, stillness. All I can hear is my rumbling heartbeat echoing through the water. I wish it was yours. Steam clouds my lungs from my gasps of breathless sobs. Why can't I breathe without you? Suffocating on the fumes of my broken heart, exhausted exhaust. I can't hear me crying anymore, gasping for air anymore, only that your heartbeat is not against my ear anymore. I'm still breathing, but it suddenly feels as if I am drowning. The false comfort from exuding my sorrows now burns my skin and fogs my brain, tattooing my skin with these tear stains. How can I both feel as if I am dying, yet feel so far from it? I am not nearly close enough to numbness, and yet I am not nearly close enough to you. There is no in-between for me anymore. Is this what Romeo and Juliet felt, better to die than lie here without you? Not to be dramatic, but I'm starting to think better death of my mind, my heart, than life in this cage without you. Am I being naive? Probably. Desperate? Definitely. I pull the plug on this simulated drowning. I've emptied my body, mind, heart, and vessel and soul. No more me in this hollow vessel. I wish I could cope, but I've never had to live without hope like this before. Is it strange that it feels as if I am betraying you if I try to feel better? I wonder if you would think it is strange. I've already emptied my reservoir of tears down the drain. It is all I can do to remain sane. In reality, it's only been a few months now, but you're starting to feel lost to me now. I lie here, stripped, aching, drained, in this numbing tub, left in the slick remains of the hopelessness of my desires. Maybe they are right, that I don't deserve to miss you like this, to wish for your arms around me like this. You say, and I question, that my first love can't be real if it is like this. Oh, I understand. You just want me to curl up here quietly, like this. Thank you.
Boom, coming in hard with the ending. I loved your use of repetition, Allie. Thank you. And I love your glasses as also. Those are super cute. Alrighty, Teresa, you are next, my dude.
Thank you. Oh, thanks everybody. It's good to see everybody that I know. And hell, it's good to see everybody that I don't know. I'm gonna read one poem. I just got this published yesterday. If you want to read some great poetry in a little online publication, go check out Line Writer Press. I think there's a few folks on this who have read tonight who have gotten to get published there. Go check it out. Okay, this is a poem. I wrote this during COVID, and I think you'll agree. It's called Liberation. If there's just one thing I know, one certainty amid the blinking open eye of chaos, it is this: I'm not wearing bras anymore. Now I've tasted freedom, weeks and weeks without cruel underwires furrowing my skin, without corralling wild beasts into smooth, smothered, shapely breasts, without thumb hooking straps to shimmy into impatient cups. I'm never turning back. No more will I agonize over colors, materials, band thickness, padding, strap tension, elasticity, sex appeal, size charts. The bra's hook and eye grasp on my life, so tight around the sides I'm rubbed raw, has finally worn out. Who's with me? Now dawns a new era, a jiggly, wobbly, bouncy, bountiful, pointy and saggy, squishy and succulent, beautiful, luscious, exuberant, all over liberating age for us women. We may have missed the 60s, but it's not hard to start a fire. Toss your bras and forget about jogging. Our weight is no one's concern anyway. Sure, it will be distracting at first, but I've been to Spain. I know society can cope. And it's not like anyone can stop us. The very idea is titillating. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa, for everything about that. It's so good. Yes, Line Writer Press. It's a good one. You should all submit there as well. All right, Miss Diane Hardy.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, this is a piece I wrote many, many years ago, maybe before any of you were born. I don't know. But anyway, I have reworked it. And I'm writing different things these days, but I'm not ready to read them. So I wanted to do this one I revived. This is a spoof. It's called Pee in the Pool. Upon retirement, trying to stave off the aging process, I joined a health club, intrigued by a class called Rusty Joints. Arriving, I found 30 geriatrics, with more coming by the minute. Women and men formed two groups. Each acted as if the other were the interloper. One tall, angular woman was the exception as she cast longing glances over at the men. With shiny white hair, impeccably styled into a 1960s bouffant, eyebrows like crowbars, fire engine red lipstick, mascara, eyeshadow, and rouge, her countenance said, "I was beautiful many years ago, and I'm certain you remember me." I walked to the side of the pool and began stretching my legs. A hostile woman, wrinkled as a spit wad, spine curved like a warped ruler, shrilly dismissed me. This class is full. There are already 35 of us packed in here like sardines. The men occupied a whole corner. Two were good old boying one another while others chuckled approval. The ringleader puffed out his chest and yelled, "Hey, Jack, ain't you married to a blonde?" "These days she's gray like me," Jack retorted. "Do you know what the blonde said when she found out she was pregnant?" Jack reddened and waited. "She said, 'Are you sure it's mine?'" The men guffawed. One shook his head in admiration. "Boy, that Gus, he's still got it, don't he?" "Yeah, he's a stitch for sure and over 80, grinned another. A tiny lady whose bright eyes looked out of place alongside her sagging gray skin stepped into the pool. As she cleared the last step, she teeter-tottered in place, eyes focused on distant sights. Seconds later, she sighed, smiled, and began taking warm-up steps. The women scuttled away from her in disgust. Noticing my bewildered look, one snorted, "That Mary Margaret, Lady Margaret, she just peed in the pool. It's like she holds it until she's here and then lets go. First thing every day, standing there with that stupid smile, proud of herself. They ought to kick her out." Our instructor began with leg lifts, then jumping jacks. One guy got out of the pool, loudly stating he needed to make a potty stop. A woman sporting a heavy sleeve of flesh shook a blunt finger at him and sputtered, "You always pull that trick when we're doing the hard stuff. You'll be back when we work out with them spongy noodle things." "Well, at least he gets out to do his business, unlike some people," said the lady who had rattled on Mary Margaret. "This here's not no toilet, and people can just hold it until we're done." Someone wearing a hot pink polka dot suit and a frozen smile looked over at me. She broke from the women's circle and said sweetly, "You're new. Where's your husband?" I don't have one," I stammered. "I'm divorced." With a piss on you look, she turned her back to me. Suddenly, a huge, defiant woman entered the pool. She scanned the crowd and walked toward me. "Hi, I'm Jackie. Who are you?" she belted. "Denise." "So what do you think?" she asked, pointedly looking at different people. "Don't let them get to you. They'll try to drive you off." Like they did me, but it didn't work. "I've been coming here since this place opened 20 years ago. People here hate my guts, but it's because I've knowed them since we was kids and they can't pull the wool over my eyes. You see that one over there in the pink suit, Miss Piggy?" "She's the one that just asked me where my husband was," I replied. "Ha ha, she's a wonderful one, going with her guy on a church mission and all. But I don't listen to her crap because I remember when she went to bed with every Tom, Dick, and Harry when we was kids. She had a hard time getting her man because in them days, men didn't marry the cow that give them the milk for free. Not hitched till 23. She was nearly an old maid." Her tone changed, became sugary. "Well, I tell you, she changed overnight. Got religion. Had one of them there revelations." I resisted the urge to laugh. "Anyways, I've got the dirt on these people and they stay clear of me because I tell it like it is. See that guy over there? That pompous ass is a Rockefeller. Claims to be a direct descendant of John D. himself. He's here every day bragging about his restored cars and properties." "Oh, got lots of money?" I asked. "Yeah," she shrugged. "See them guys kissing up to him? Well, not me. He's no better than the rest of us. We all pee in the pool." "Really?" "You bet. Think about it. All of us over 65 and incontinent as hell. This water gets warmer and yellower by the minute." A cart was wheeled in with water noodles that we'd finish up with. A man pushed his way through and grabbed one or two yellow ones. The rest were pink. Real men don't wear pink, he sneered, and I'm still a real man. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you, Jackie shrieked with laughter. Then a coughing fit followed. Time for another coffin nail, she sputtered as she got out of the pool. Class ended. People left and I was alone, reluctant to get out, feeling there was something I wanted to do. Should I wondered. No, you're an adult, said my voice of propriety. But it's an initiation, I answered defiantly. Then I took a deep breath and a long, gratifying pee right there in that pool. I'm done.
Team Jackie. Thank you, Diane.
You're
So
welcome.
good to hear your voice.
You too. How are you doing?
The normal amount of crazy, I would say.
I'm so glad you're doing this. I've been trying to get on this site since 6 o'clock, but I'm old and I just barely figured it out. And it's in time to read. So I appreciate it so much.
I'm so glad you kept trying. Yeah, the meeting doesn't open until I log in and tell it to open about 5 minutes before 7. So that's probably why.
I learned, because who says you can't teach old dogs new tricks?
I've never said that myself. Wouldn't dare. My dog's 10 years old and he's a very selective but very smart learner.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Thank you for your help.
Of course. Of course. Thank you for sharing and reading with us. Okay. We have plenty of time. If anyone's been debating throwing their hand up there. Yes. All righty. We've got, I know your first name. I know your last name's Pesty Strobel, but I know your first name's not Craig. Susan, right? No, I'm scared. It's your turn.
Whatever. Hey, everyone. So wonderful to see you. Oh, my gosh.
Whoa. From
the outlying territories of Oregon here. Yoo-hoo. All right. So it's almost midnight here. Just kidding. So I thought I would just lead the second tier readers here. Speaking of the aged and ripe and, them. So thank you so much for doing this. This is so awesome. Britt, everyone, so wonderful to see you. And before I break down in tears, because it's not very good when you're trying to read, I will just read my poem. So it would be, of course, best, lovely if I figured out this whole theme for this poem, but actually I decided that no, I'm just going to force it happening, and that, this could have been revised or rewritten, but it refuses to do that. So it's not. So it's okay. Right? But this poem comes out of the series that Starzy and I started. And we don't write every night or every morning or whenever. Don't tell anyone, because that was the idea. It doesn't work. There is this life thing. However, when it comes to rewriting, when you respond to another poet, or it's like an homage to another poet, then I consider that sort of rewriting this other poet into your own, mold, what have you. So Wisława Szymborska is one of my favorite poets. And speaking of how to write about things that you can't write about, For so many years, she had to write with double meanings because she lived in a communist country. And so when you respond to her, it's like anything will work, because then you know that you're actually talking about some other things as well as the ones that are actually in your words. I don't know if this makes any sense, but I just thought it could. All right. So this is an homage to her poem Miracle Fair, which is the title of the collection, poem collection, one of her books. So yeah, you guys might have come across it. Off the map, on the map. An everyday map occurrence, shag of grass, seeds, bugs, bird paradise. You're invited to a map. My home, living room, bath if you must, kitchen, but not the bedroom. Look up on the map. A cloud shaped like a bear cub dissolves into nothing, like us. Turn a map upside down. Your unthinkable thoughts fall and fall some more. Feeling mapped. A woman's body ripped, robbed of its dignity. Again. Look up again. Map, in spite of. Your raised hand, frond of delicate fingers, contains a multitude of stars. Love you, but that was for star. Thank you, guys. Awesome. Okay, so good to be with you.
Thank you. Thank you. That was beautiful. Yeah, homage poems are definitely like a rewriting. It's just writing again, right? Like you said, it's beautiful. And it might be a beautiful ending to our lovely evening, unless someone else out there has a bubbling, burning, itchy. Okay. Before I let you all go, let me just remind you that next month we will have, and she's in the room, Amber Karen will be reading for us next month, February 25th, as well as Natalie Rogers. They're both fiction writers. They both are creative writing faculty. I found out when I popped into the faculty meeting and met them both. And we are very excited to have them. So make sure you come back next February, this coming February, 4 weeks from now-ish. If you're not on the email list, drop it in the chat box and I will make sure you get on it.
Thank you, Britt. Excited to see you, Amber. Can't wait to hear your reading. Thank you, everybody.
You're welcome. Thanks everybody for coming.
Thank you. It was awesome.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming and reading.
Fantastic start to 2021 Helicon West. Woo!
Thank you.
Thank you. That poem was so awesome. I'm just gonna go share it. I'm just gonna go read it again and share it.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. I like the part of Zoom meetings where people say goodbye and then you like have the awkward, everyone's getting off.
I know, I don't actually want to leave. It's hard.
I know, I miss you.
I guess we can
How
just
are
do on our
you?
own. I'm good.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm good. Mwah.
Okay. Talk to you
Thanks
soon.
for
Bye.
reading. Bye.